All right, we are doing 24 then, is that what you said? All right, so this is from the worksheet. I'll write that on here so that you know. So it's the worksheet. It's what, chapter 3 test, and what do they call it? Form 2D. All right, Form 2D. And we're doing number 24. And it says, find the distance between these parallel lines. So they give you the two parallel lines. So y equals negative 5x. And y equals negative 5x plus 26. Alright, draw an x and y axis so we know what's going on here. You don't necessarily have to have graph paper on this. I'm not going to count up 26 places. I'm just going to put a dot way up here to represent where 26 is. I'm doing this bottom one first. Is that right? Okay, so there's 26, and the slope is negative 5 over 1. So we go down 5 and to the right 1. So it would be somewhere around in there. Right? Again, we just have to get a general idea what this thing's going to look like. It doesn't have to be perfect. So let me just extend this out a little bit just to make it a line that goes through both of those points. Alright, we good so far? Let's do another one. I'll keep this one in red too. This is y equals negative 5x. So what's the y-intercept of this? It's 0. Okay, so the y-intercept is right here. And the slope, again, is the same exact thing. So you would count down 5, go over 1. But since I have this little program here, I'll cheat. Yeah, and then there we go. Alright, so it's the same exact slope, isn't it? And it goes through the y-intercept at 0 at the origin. Alright, so what are we trying to do? We're trying to find the distance between those two red lines right there. Alright, and just make it blue. So if I find the distance between these two red lines, you could start from this point right here and drop it perpendicular to this line over here. Or you could start from here, drop it perpendicular to there. It's the same exact distance. You'll get the same exact answer no matter which point you use. I don't know, for some reason I think it might be easier if we just use the origin and go to here. I haven't done it both ways, so I'm not really sure which one would be easier. I don't think either one's going to be that difficult. Okay, so let's put some points in here. What is this point right here?
0,
0, 0. And what is this point right here? We don't know, so call it xy. Seems like I've been doing this problem a lot here lately, doesn't it? So, yes, sir. This point right here, that's where I got the slope of it, because I went down 5 and I went to the right 1. That's how I found the slope of this line, because it's negative 5 over 1. Okay, so I went down 5 and to the right 1. You with me on that? Okay. So I'm going to use this point and this point. So the whole deal, all the work that's involved basically, or the bulk of the work anyway, is to find this point right here. So you got to figure out what do you do. I'm going to even write it down. Okay, what do? We find what? Talk to me. Somebody talk to me. Yeah, we got to find the x and y. That's eventually, but the first thing we do is find the equation of both lines. Okay, so find the equation of two lines. Which two lines? Well, the two lines that this point is a part of. Everybody see that? So what two lines intersect to make that point right there? This one, y equals negative 5x plus 26, and what else? This little one right here. You with me? So I got to find the equation of both of those lines. Well, this one I already know it, so I can just write that down. What is it? Y equals negative 5x plus 26. So I found the equation of this red line right here. That was easy. I didn't have to find it. It's just sitting there, isn't it? They told it to me in the first place. Okay, so I can just write that down. Here's what we have to figure out. We got to figure out, and I'll put a little arrow this way. We got to find the equation of this little blue line. And you're looking at it and you say, well, I don't know anything about that blue line. Well, sure you do. You know two things, and those are the two things we need to know. First of all, you know a point on this line right here. Well, you don't know this point, do you? Because that's what we're trying to eventually find. What point do you know?
0, 0.
You know this point right here, 0, 0. So you know a point on the line, which is 0, 0. What else do you know about this point in order to find the equation of the line? Not the point, the line, sorry. What else do you know about the line?
Perpendicular.
Yeah, it's perpendicular to the red line, so that means what, Kathleen?
Slope is 1/5.
Means the slope is positive 1/5. Now, did you have to do a whole bunch of math to figure that out? Did you need a calculator? No. What did you do? You look, they're perpendicular, like Travis said. They're perpendicular. So the slope of this line right here is -5. The slope of a line that's perpendicular to it is the negative reciprocal, right? So what is the slope of this red line right here? It's, come on, talk to me, please.
-5.
It's -5. All right, so it's -5. What's the negative reciprocal? We take the opposite sign, which is positive, and then we take the reciprocal of 5, which is 1/5. So the slope of this blue line is 1/5. All right, that's something that you should be able to do. All right, we've got a point and we've got a slope. Now we should be able to find the equation with that information right there. So y equals mx plus b. Watch how easy this is. Yeah, let's put some numbers in here, and oh, actually, we don't even have to do that. Yeah, we don't even have to do that, do we? What am I doing? I did this. I started doing that the first time. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. All right, now watch. Really, all we need to do is write the equation of this line. It's y equals, what's the slope? 1/5 x, and then what? Plus b. What's the b? What's the y-intercept of that blue line? It's 0, isn't it? Okay, so it's just y equals 1/5 x. So over here, I can write y equals 1/5 x. So there, I'm done. I found the equation of the two lines. Now, what in the world do I do with those two equations once I found them? Set them equal to each other. That's right. So set them equal to each other. So it's negative, I'll tell you what. Let's do it like that. Let's do it like that. Who cares? -5x plus 26 equals 1/5 x. What do we do after we set them equal to each other? We solve for x. That's right. We just find what x is equal to. All right, let's do that. Let's add a 5x to this side, to this side. All right, I don't have to move this around, do I? Because it's already on that left side. That cancels out. I got a 26 right here. And what's this? What's 5? It's, what's that?
26 and 1/5.
Yeah, but let's just one step at a time. I don't want the answer. Let's go one step at a time. Let's rewrite 5, so it's what? Yeah, but we got to add it to a 1/5.
26 over.
So it's 20, one step at a time. You're getting ahead again. It's 25. 5 is 25 over 5, isn't it? Would you agree? Okay, and I add it to a 1/5. Now, Travis, go ahead.
26 over.
Now it's 26 over 5. All right? So it's 26 over 5 what? X. See it? I've done this a bunch of times now, all right? You gotta practice it. You gotta get inside this problem. You gotta work these things. Okay, what in the world is he doing? He keeps on doing this, taking that 5 and making it 25 over 5. Why does he do that? It's just common denominator stuff. All right, it's back when you're in 4th and 5th grade, whenever you learn that stuff, finding a common denominator. If you want to rewrite it a little differently, if you want to show a little extra steps because I'm maybe doing too much in my head, then go ahead and do that. But learn how to add these two together. You could have done this as well. You could have just said, what's 5 plus 1/5? Well, it's just 5 1/5, isn't it? Change that to an improper fraction. What is that? 25 plus 1 is 26 fifths, right? Oops, 26, sorry. Fifths, right? If it comes down to it, I hate to even say this, but if it comes down to it, put it into a calculator for goodness sakes, okay? Just to get the number, just to get the answer. But I'm trying to teach you some things. I'm trying to teach you how to add fractions together. And for some reason, that is just a thorn in the side of kids coming up through here. We're just not learning our fractions like we're supposed to. So practice it. You have to practice it yourself. Okay, let's finish doing this. What do? Got to get x by itself. 26 over 5. How do we get rid of that? Multiply it by 5 over 26. So you come over here, do the same thing, 5 over 26. For some of you, you could have looked at this way up here and done it in your head, and that's fine. I'm just showing you every little step. Watch, the 26 cancels, so what's x equal to? It's equal to 5. Now we can solve for y either using this equation or this one right here. It doesn't make a difference. Tell you the truth, this little one right here might be a little bit easier. So let's do it. A lot of people don't like to use the fractions, but don't be afraid of fractions. Watch. 1/5 times x. What is x?
5.
It's 5. It's 5 over 1. That cancels. What is it? Y is?
1.
It's 1. So our ordered pair now, what's this ordered pair? We didn't know it before, but now we know it. What is it?
5.
It's 5, 1. All right? That was the bulk of the work.
Now we
Okay,
still have to find the distance.
and now it's the distance, right? Now you got to find the distance. And that's really not the hard part, is it? All right, that's pretty easy now once you have this point. All this work to find that little point right there where those two lines intersect each other. Now we can do the distance formula. And this is really easy, especially since this point right here is 0, 0, isn't it? Okay, so watch. Let's do this. Let's do this. parentheses squared. So what is it? 5 minus 0, which is 5. 1 minus 0, which is 1. That's 25. That's 1. What is it? Square root of 26. Don't forget the square root, okay? And you just leave it like that, and you're done. That's all there is to it. I don't know how many times I have to do this, all right? Look, you're like, well, do it one more time, do it one more time. You can do this. I mean, you can go to the YouTube videos. There must be like 4 or 5 examples like this that I've done, that I've actually recorded and put on the computer, that you can go through and you can look at and go step by step. You should be sitting there, okay, ready with the pause button. Do one step at a time, pause it, you do it yourself. Make sure you understand what that step's all about. Maybe try to figure out what you do on the next step before you unpause it and hit play. All right, say, okay, I think I'm going to do this. And you do it, hit play, see what I did, and see if it's the same thing. All right, you have to do that. You have to go to it. If you're not understanding these things, I mean, there's no reason in the world that you shouldn't be able to get these right on the quiz tomorrow. No reason. All right, I've given you every resource I could possibly think of. And if you haven't taken advantage of it, then I'm sorry. There's nothing else I can do. All right. And I want you to do it. I want you to learn this stuff. All right, enough of that. But I'll do it again. All right, now we're going to do number 17. It says they give you the x-intercept, so they say the x-intercept is equal to -5, and the y-intercept is equal to 2. And what does the problem say to do? It says write an equation in slope-intercept form. So what is slope-intercept form? Yeah, very good. Y equals mx plus b. So you can use whatever form you want. I'm going to put it into this form right here. Since they asked for it in slope-intercept form, I'm just going to use slope-intercept form to figure it out. Now look, if you don't remember, again, not everybody's going to have to go through this. You might be able to just look at it and tell what these points are. But it says the x-intercept. The x-intercept is -5. What does that mean? It crosses the x-axis where? At -5. So it's right there. What would that point be? What would the actual coordinates of that point be? It'd be -5, 0, right? Okay, it would be -5, 0. You see that? So the x-intercept is -5, 0. The y-intercept, look, they tell you right away, don't they? We'll put it on here, though. It's right there. So what is that point? It's 0, 2. All right? And then, what else do we have to find? If we know this, look, we already know one thing. What do we already know? The y-intercept. I can just put a 2 right there, right? So really, what's the only thing we really have to find? It's the slope, okay? So find the slope between these two right there. I've been using straight lines. Might as well use a straight line, okay? So we want to find the slope of that line right there, all right? And how do you find the slope? You could just count it if you did this. You could do what? Rise 2, what? Run 5, so what is that? 2/5, right? Or if you wanted to, you could just do the slope form. Let's do that just for fun, all right? So subtract the y's from each other. 2 minus 0 is what? 2. Subtract the x's. 0 minus -5. What's minus a negative? It's positive, so it's just +5. So there it is. You could either count on your graph if you wanted to, or you could just do this. Make sense? All right. And then you're basically done. So look, y equals what? 2/5 x. What's the y-intercept? It's +2. It's as easy as that. Okay. Yeah. All right. Anything else? Just a reminder. So quiz tomorrow, which is Friday. What? Right? Friday. I'm going to write it down so I remember. And what is it? It's October. What's today? The 7th. So that would be the 8th, 2010. Okay. At what's that? Today's the 7th. Today's the 7th. Okay. And that would be at 8 around 20 a.m. Okay. So there you go. So you don't forget. It's on there. It's being recorded on section 3, 5, and 3, 6. Okay.